Welcome in, everyone, to another episode with the Second Chances. Before we jump into tonight's action, we stopped the last session with a bit of a cliffhanger as rocks were falling.
Literally.
First with our thank yous, of course, which goes out to Critical Role for creating the world of Exandria that we play in. And then all of the various music that you may hear on the stream is from Reliquary Records, Dungeon Glitch, Critical Role, Hunter Rogertson, or Borislav Slavov. So go ahead and go and check them out on, we use Spotify, but I'm sure they're on all sorts of other platforms as well. So, last we left our heroes, they had just closed the biggest portal they had yet to face since becoming chosen of the Oracle. This portal was so massive that it was on the verge of solidifying into an anchor in their world, in which case they would not have been able to do anything about it. So having closed that portal, they now continue their trek into the old underground tunnels that the Pallid Elves once inhabited before coming back above ground 50-some years ago. Well, in these tunnels, some tricks were being played on them as the influence of the betrayer god, the Crawling King, seems to still be just as strong as it was prior to the portal being closed. Not good. But with some timely intervention from the Changebringer, as well as Maev and the other Pallid Elf, Rayella's survival and tracking skills and aid from everyone, they were able to make their way through. Eventually, though, they did have to stop to rest for the night, and during this rest, I believe it was Zealous got a dream from the Crawling King. And then everyone got attacked by fire bullets that they were able to defeat, but these fire bullets, when killed, exploded. Corey also used a thunder step, and Xana shot her gun a bunch of times, and as we last ended, the tunnel was collapsing on our heroes. So we're going to jump right in there to collapsing tunnels. And I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Come on, Xana, you have
Maybe one of those nights.
Oh,
Okay,
only a +6.
I had this the last game. I'm gonna inspo that.
Xana rolled a 3 + 6.
Oh.
So
all right.
Xana fails as well.
I'm gonna inspo it. Hold on. Someone's got to survive this.
Oh, this was not the
There we go.
song that I thought it was. Trouble at the Docks. That's what we want.
All right, I inspoed. I got a not 20.
Okay, that's going to help.
Okay, I was gonna say, what can I do with that nat 20?
Mm-hmm. All right, so Maev with the nat 20, Roz with the 11, Corey with a 16, Zealous with a 16.
25 for Leo.
All right. Maev
Yep.
and Leo both pass. Leo, since you are a rogue, you won't take...
What was the DC?
DC was 22. You have
Aw,
you
damn it.
have the entire cave system here collapsing in on you. It was very difficult to avoid. Leo, obviously, because you're a rogue, you're not going to take any damage as you are able to, like a rat, just completely squish your body up against the side of the wall and move your organs and collapse bones and stuff, so that none of these rocks somehow hit you. Maev, you will still take half damage, but you are not pinned. Everyone else is going to be pinned under a bunch of rocks.
Oh, God.
And
All right.
then we're not really going to be in an initiative order. But at the top of every round, if you are still pinned, you will continue to take damage as you are being crushed. So,
Cool.
This is why Aunt Triv said never go underground.
Is everyone ready?
No.
All right, what's the damage?
If you
Oh.
failed, 55 damage,
Holy fuck.
Well, I'm unconscious.
as is Xana.
Xana, yeah. All right. And what's half of 55? That would be...
It looks like Corey is as
27.
well.
Everybody's unconscious.
He
So,
rolled really high
That's a
damage.
lot of 6s and 5s.
Yeah.
oh shit, it is. Look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Out of what? 12 dice, 2 of them under a 4.
Oh, nice. My D6s are fire tonight.
D6s.
Yep. All right. So, this happens basically just after the second boulette goes off, and you all begin to realize as the tunnel starts to shake and crack, dust is falling, and everything goes dark. Dust is beginning to fill the air here. Leo, as I said, you're fine. Maev, you're sort of smashed against a wall as you are trying to get out of the range of everything falling in.
I'm not pinned, you said.
You're not pinned, correct.
Okay.
I also, sorry, really quick, need to roll for Rayella as well. Where's she at?
What's her face was upset about going in the lamp. She's not upset now, is she?
She
Exactly.
should actually be outside of the lamp now that I'm thinking about it, but
No.
We would have...
I will give y'all one
Give us a break, man.
saving grace here.
As
Yeah.
we're all doomed.
Exactly.
All right, Rayella. Rayella rolled a 9 plus 9 is an 18, so she takes 55 damage and is also pinned down. She's at 15 HP, just as an FYI. Tell you what. Oh no, Corey, your shadow spawn is concentration, right?
Or...
Yes.
What?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I hear
Is
ya.
your shadow spawn concentration?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so shadow spawn is gone. Did you also roll for luster?
Oh, no, sorry. Sorry, 1 second. Do I need to pull up his thing? I have to pull up his thing. 1 second. Drake, Ward, and 5e. They don't put everything on here. I think he has... Come on. Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. So his saving throw dex is plus proficiency, so plus 5 plus an extra 1 because of the ribbon. So... A plus...
Because he may be able to help in the rounds to come here.
21.
21.
No,
All right, so
Luster.
Luster takes 55 damage and is also pinned. All right, so as the aftermath of the cave-in has happened and you're coughing, you're trying to get your bearings straight, Maev, Leo, you realize that you have room to move around in here, but it's very difficult to do so. This will be difficult terrain, which doesn't matter for Maev, so I think maybe, given your training and spending as much time down here, even in this collapsed tunnel, you are able to move easier amongst the cave-in and the rubble here, though you are, climbing through and over and through tight spaces. You call out to see how everyone is. You hear Hermia's voice. You hear Leo. You hear Zealous. You hear Rayella. You do not hear Rosalind, Xana, or Corey respond to you, and Rayella lets you know that she is pinned down. So, everyone who's still alive, what are you doing this round before we do death saves? And don't worry, when you take damage, it will not be an auto fail.
Well, we're all still alive. We're just,
Unconscious and being crushed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he means though that technically these things should be giving you damage, and that's an auto fail and a death save.
Correct.
Did I see?
Yeah, do we
Corey
see
get
where they are?
hit?
Yeah. Do we see any of them?
All right, let me see. Yes, so Hermia, you can kind of light things up a little bit better with your dancing lights to hopefully help find where people are. Leo, as the dancing lights begin to sort of zip up and down the tunnel trying to illuminate stuff, you see about 15 feet from you, part part of Corey. You see like an arm sort of behind one of the boulders. And as you move to get closer to her, you see that you can't really see like the lower part of her body, and the boulder also has her pinned up against the wall.
I'm gonna cast Healing Word
Okay.
on Corey.
Corey, as you are suddenly brought back to consciousness, your wild magic surge is still going, so go ahead and narrate, or let us know what the narration says, basically, as you come back awake. And you get 5 HP.
Okay.
So yeah, so the
Six,
the voice narrates out loud for anyone within like 50 to 60 feet to hear. It narrates what you're doing and also what you're feeling and thinking.
Like a comic book.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it was so sudden that Corey is just like as if they're just waking up and they're like, what's happening? Oh god.
The Family Guy
dead.
moment. I awoke several hours later in a daze.
Yep. So you would see Leo standing near you, having just healed you. You said that was a healing word.
Yeah, it was
So
1d4 plus 3, so I rolled
Yep.
a 3, and it's supposed to be 6 instead of 5.
Oh, sorry. So you get 6 backs. All right. So do you still have your action then, if you would like to try and do something to get Corey out?
I'm gonna look to Corey. It's like, do you have any Misty Step spells or anything like that? Because I'm out of Dimension Door, or we're gonna have to yank you out.
Wait. Do I see anyone else near me who's pinned?
No, you can only see Leo right now.
I just like weakly stretch out my hand to Leo, and I say, "If I do this, it might make it worse. I don't know. It's gonna be loud."
God.
What are you narrating in the back of your head?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. I think it's just a bunch of like curse words. Like,
I assume
ow.
you're thinking about doing Thunderstep.
Yes.
All right. So I think as she mentions like being afraid to do this, you hear this voice that says, "The young changeling warlock thinks the only thing that I can think of to get out of here is to use a Thunderstep, but that caused this cave in to begin with. It could hurt it or make things even worse."
And
I'm just gonna
looking
look at
around.
Corey and just start yanking on Corey.
Oh,
trying to
wait.
get her
Wait. I forget that I have this feat all the time. I will Misty Step. I do have regular Misty Step.
That's
Okay, then yes. So with a Misty Step, you can easily free yourself from where you are. Yes, Hermia, that was not your full turn. We're not really doing like a particular order here.
It's just
so.
like I don't want you to go like
Right.
have it be the
Yep.
end of the turn and be
That's
like,
fine.
oh well, shit happens.
Yep. So you threw your dancing lights out. You are near Maev, Hermia, so you can see where Maev is, and the visibility down here is really, really hard. But you can also because you're. Yeah, with Dirty 20, you got pinned, so you are pinned. You can't see him, but you can hear where Zealous is. Like when Zealous called out to let you know that he's still conscious, he's close enough.
Do I see
Sorry,
like
Roz was right next to you. Roz moved herself, and that confused me. Roz is right next to you as well, so you can see Roz. And if it wasn't for like where her shield is, she'd be completely crushed by one of these boulders. But you can see she's on the ground. There's a boulder over top of her, and her shield just happens to be up in a way that it's not like just smashing in, tearing through her skin and whatnot.
Okay.
But she is unconscious.
Okay, she's unconscious, so that changes things. I don't know how much I can actually do, but I will use
I
my
will say
prayer beads.
that even with you being pinned, she is close enough that you can reach her.
Okay. Well, I was gonna use my prayer bead and heal her.
Mm-hmm.
to get her back up.
Okay.
At least alive. This is just what is second level cure wounds? What is that?
2d8.
2d8.
Spell
Oh.
casting.
Yeah.
2d8. Where's my d8? Is it? Yeah, I think so. Okay, not 8. That is 7 plus spell casting 5, so 12.
All right. So, Roz, explain to us what is going through Roz's head and what she's feeling as she comes back to consciousness.
Yeah, as she kind of opens her eyes and notices like the rocks and feels one on top of her, she just goes, "Oh, fuck you, Drea. Oh, fuck you so much. This is why Triv said never go underground." Oh.
You'll have to wait till your next turn to face step.
So
yeah.
How many? Now that the rocks have fallen, how much is crushing damage?
Oh, what do you mean? How much is? Oh, you want to know how much this is gonna hurt at the top of the round?
Yeah,
You'll have.
Because I assume like it's gonna be less than like
It's
the initial
correct.
when everything
Correct.
dumped on us.
You're not going to be hit with 12d6 again.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm not gonna make it. Then Roz is just gonna be unconscious.
All right. So Hermia's gone. Leo's gone. Corey, you technically still have like movement in bonus action, but I don't think you can quite get far enough to anyone. But if you wanted to start moving down towards where everybody else was to try and help, you can. Is that an affirmative?
Yes.
Okay. So you have about 15, so you're at like we'll say you get about down to where Maev is. Zealous and Maev, you still have actions. What would you like to do with them?
Who am I closest to? I don't know if Xana was near me when she went under.
Yeah, so you don't currently see Xana. You know that she was further down in the direction of everyone else. So as you begin to climb and move through, you do come across Zealous. You can basically see his upper body. His legs are completely pinned down below him, and he's kind of like up against the wall.
Okay. In that case, then I will try to help free Zealous.
Zealous can get out on its own.
Okay, so as you kind of come up and you begin to help him, he lets you know, like, keep going, keep going. What's your full movement?
35.
35. Okay. So as you continue to crawl down, looking for Xana, you eventually come across Hermia, who's kind of down in sort of like the bottom corner of it, and she's reaching over and sort of just got a hand over onto Roz's shoulder to give her a heal. So they're both conscious. Roz doesn't look great.
Okay.
Please save Roz.
I will do my best. I'm going to use then a bonus action to cast Healing Spirit.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I'm gonna get the Xana special.
It's saving your life, damn it!
At what cost?
Your sanity. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just checking.
Mm-hmm.
Or also I could do aid, I just realized, but I don't think enough people are around me.
If you have to see them, you'd be able to hit yourself, Roz, and Hermia with aid.
Oh no, it's up to 3 creatures. So actually this, I mean, I don't really need it, but
Roz does.
Huh?
Roz does.
We all do. Okay, so we'll just do it. All 3 of us can get it. So I will cast I will cast aid. So 10 HP.
Leo, I'll say that down where you are as well, you and Corey both saw Rayella.
What's wrong?
That's an action. I didn't want to do that. I'm so sorry.
No, that's
Let
fine.
me do the Let me do the Healing Spirit instead. I'm sorry.
Yep, no problem.
We'll say instead I do a 3rd level Healing Spirit. So that is 2d6 on Roz then on that. And then I'll help I go to Hermia first, and Hermia, are you saying to have me pull out Roz first?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. She'll go. Roz is stronger, I guess. She'll go and try to pull Roz out if she can. have her rescue her girlfriend. So, bonus action was the healing spirit for 6 HP on Roz, and then action I'm trying to get Roz free.
You got it. Leo, as Quarry begins to weakly start to like crawl through back in the direction to provide aid where she can as well, you see that Rayella, her shoulder has been pinned pretty hard against the wall by one of the boulders, and there's a few more kind of down around her legs. And as you move in her direction to help her, she goes, "Don't worry, I'm fine," and mutters something under the breath, and you watch as her form kind of dulls to the color of the stone and just kind of melts backwards into the wall, and then
Melt into stone.
and then steps back out and like over the rocks, and she's fine now.
Oh, fuck. Damn.
Can you
I don't
teach me that?
She looks you up and down. Probably not.
Can she teach me that?
I'm pretty sure that's probably something you can learn at some point. Yeah.
Damn. All right.
All right. So you put some healing into Roz, right?
And
Yep.
that was my bonus action,
Yep.
and then my my normal action was to free her.
To try and free her.
Yeah.
Make
To pull her.
yeah. Go ahead
Okay.
and make a athletics check, please.
Okay.
We'll say at advantage because Roz is probably trying to help in some way.
Appreciate it.
Nice.
There we go.
You needed a very, very high roll because this is not easy to do. But your mother-like instincts lifting the bus off of the child kicks in, and Roz, you're obviously trying to help, but like you kind of realize for a second, like Maeve's actually doing a lot of the lifting here.
Maeve's got this.
And you are quickly able to scramble yourself out of it as Maeve lets the boulder fall back down to the ground. All right, who is Zealous?
Since when do you lift?
Since I got since now.
Zealous, what would you like to do to try and free yourself or help out?
Zealous will just do a misty step and just kind of like poof into a cloud of smoke and just reappear. Do I have any idea where Xana is?
You know that she was further down the way. So if you begin to sort of move your way through, you do have reduced movement by half, but you are actually one of the closest ones to her. And I suppose of anyone who would need to potentially make this check, you were the right one. Actually, no, this is a little bit different. I'm going to say make an investigation check.
You would.
You would.
Yep. This isn't just using your sight. You need to look around and potentially move stuff.
Apparently.
You have to use your hands in this case.
You could be yeah, I was gonna say channel
No time to channel.
All right. So yeah, you begin to move down in that direction, looking for her. Shut up, phone. But you can't seem to find her. You get all the way down, almost to the end. You basically get to where, as far to the end towards that wall that you had originally erected when you had started your long rest. You get as far down to the end of the tunnel as you can, and you don't see any sign of her.
Warning.
You do still
I do
have
not-
an action if you want to potentially do something that might help you in some way.
you have any spells?
Yeah. Depending on what it is, I'll let you do something with your action besides just the investigation.
We have another oracle power.
Do we?
Oh fuck, you're right. Oh, I'm
What is
so
that
We
dumb.
can
do?
locate one of our chosen.
Yeah.
You sure can.
Oh yeah.
Oh!
We're so dumb.
All right, so using that power, I will let you re-roll your investigation check.
Okay. Do I get like a bonus to it?
You get advantage. So that you get the re-roll.
Damn it.
Aw.
Rerol's not gonna help with a +0.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get a ping of where she is. She's between you and where Rosalind, Hermia, and Maeve are, but you can't you can't see her. You can't see any sign of her.
Warning. I cannot find Xana, and she is not currently moving. Please assist.
Is that... No, Roz, you still have an action, don't you?
Yes.
You haven't got to do anything. Yep.
I
So,
haven't
yeah.
gone yet. So seeing that, Roz is gonna make her way over to where Zealous is.
Yep. So, yeah, you can make
Okay,
your way
I'll be
about...
fine.
Oh, right. Hermia is still trapped as well. So...
Yeah.
You can Misty Step though.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that is true. I'm alive.
Is face step not a bonus action, by the way?
Phase Step is.
It's because I did the dancing lights.
dancing
so we
lights.
Can see people.
Yeah.
Yep. Which are still helping, by the way. So yeah. So Rosalind, your armor, by the way, is gonna need some repairs. Like it is dented in all
It
sorts
already
of
needed
spots.
repairs.
That now you have like sharp like parts of it just like pushing into your ribs that weren't before. Like it's
Yeah.
you all hear like the clanking and like metal dragging and scraping against rock as
That-
she's like crawling through.
There might just be parts of it that she just tears off at this point and says, fuck it.
So go ahead, unless there's something else you'd like to do, make an investigation check.
Well, I will.
Or if there's some other
Yeah.
skill you'd like to try and use, just let me know how you'd like to utilize it.
I'm gonna ping for
All right.
trying to figure out where it's like. So we're standing where Zealous is. I know she's over there somewhere.
Yep.
I'm gonna ping.
So-
where do I sense?
So using the ping and kind of getting a sense of where she is, you're still going to have to look for her in some way. So I'll give you a few options off the top of my head, and if there's anything else you can think you want to do or any potential spells you
Detect
might
good
want
and
to...
evil.
I got an 18 on my investigation check. How about that?
Okay, so with the ping, you realize that the reason that Zealous wasn't able to see her is that she is buried more than the rest of you were, and you get a ping of her through some of the stones in some of the debris, and as you begin to move and kind of pull off some of the bigger chunks of them, you see a hand that's just kind of laying there limp. It's going to be a bit more difficult to get her out than just pulling her free like everyone
All
else
right.
did.
I'm gonna take her hand and lay on hands her for 40.
Okay.
You know the meme with the like someone drowning and the
just give him a high
Nice.
five.
High five!
Yeah. Okay, so as you grab her hand and give and pump the divine healing into her, her hand immediately clasps around yours and is squeezing. So you know she's alive, but you can't really. She doesn't say anything.
Not like she
can't.
could hear her.
I'm further along the
Well, I guess she
metaphorical
could think
baseball.
to you, but
I'm
you
further
know,
along the metaphorical base path than Maev is. I held hands.
Aw.
You take that mouth of yours and
Hey,
shut-
they had a night of heavy petting in Rex and Trim. Okay.
It's true. It's true. Although
Um,
Robbie made sure to tell me that like she didn't fall short all of herself, but it was good.
Let me check Xana's character sheet real quick, because now that she's conscious, she gets her turn.
Doesn't she have Dimension Door?
She does. have
I'm
dimension
just
door.
double checking. Misty Step requires that you be able to see.
Yes, but Dimension Door does not.
I'm trying to remember if she used Dimension Door in the battle or prior to that when you guys were...
For what?
I think she used Dimension Door during the fight with... No, because you guys did a full rest after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did use it in the battle with the in the portal.
Right. But I don't think.
She used it since then.
Yeah.
I used mine at the start of this battle.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
she's.
did she not use hers? I feel like I might have used...
All she did was shoot her gun.
Yeah. That's
And
all
make
I
everyone
remember.
deaf.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah,
that she
I
like
remember
that.
that.
I used it to like get away or something like that. Okay, maybe not. All right, so what you can...
Last time I remembered her using it was way back.
And since
So-
she knows where I'm standing since I'm holding her hand, she knows where she can go safely.
I suppose that's fair. Okay, then yes, once she grabs a hold of your hand, she vanishes and disappears in a small puff of purple smoke and reappears next to you in this very tight space here. And I think that's everyone. So now at the top.
Except for Luster. I'm sorry, Luster.
Oh, yep. So Luster and Hermia.
Or not Maeve, Hermia.
I'll
So, yeah,
be fine. I'll just go to sleep.
You hear from the direction where Luster is pinned a whimpering noise that
I'm sorry.
echoes down
You
the
gotta
tunnel.
save him.
Echoes down the tunnel in both ways, and then you feel his presence vanish.
Yeah,
Um,
I
Oh,
know.
he's
It's
gone.
kind of why I didn't mean to like meta this, but like,
You can resummon him.
Yeah.
Like,
think of it that way. But like, once he was at 5 HP, I was gonna have to do that anyway.
Yeah.
So
And then
It's
Hermia,
still sad.
you
it is sad.
you take 12 bludgeoning damage as the weight of the rock is crushing down on you.
Hermia just like is dozing off now.
Yep. And then kind of like as that happens and you feel the crush, you're like, no, this sucks. Can't stay here. And then you're going to use Face Step to free yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I can do
that's fine.
that,
You
'cause-
can.
Because it was during my watch that I'm trying to remember, like we get it
By
back
the way,
on
did
short
I at least
rest.
sleep for 4 hours?
Okay. Yeah. You got attacked in the middle of the second watch. So
It should be what?
also, not to be that person, you only have to sleep for 4 hours to get a long rest. You still have to rest for 8 hours. though.
correct.
Right.
Correct.
I'm just trying to figure out like if it because I think
It-
I used
it-
Face Step like
It did.
earlier in the day, but I don't know like if I took anything that would count as
Don't
a
you
short
prefer-
rest.
Yeah,
Sleep
well,
bonus?
a short rest is only an hour. So, yes, that did still count
Okay.
as a short rest for everyone.
But
Yeah.
no, I only get it once.
Really?
So yes,
Yeah.
you are able to Face Step yourself out from behind the boulder, and everyone is then able to slowly make their way further down. And I think between those who have the strength to do so, as well as Zealous, I think has Mold Earth. Well, here, let me just check Rayella, because if she has something like that, she will help everyone kind of get through.
I don't remember if I gave her Mold Earth.
Oh yeah, maybe not.
I mean, I could have. I made that character a while ago.
Right,
If you think it makes sense for her to have
Meld
it.
into stone just lets you merge into it. You're not able to like
Do you have
change
Mold
stone and
Earth,
stuff
Silas,
like that.
or no? No. Okay. Well,
Okay, so then this is the last thing that'll happen as you are all trying to get out. You are all going to take just a teensy bit more damage from scrapes, bruises, and other potential pieces
Wait.
of debris falling as you're moving through.
How many rounds were we running? Because Healing Spirit is still active. And I can pull
I will allow you to exhaust all the rest of the healing if you'd like to.
with me. Okay, so
so-
it has. I have 4 more charges then.
Yeah.
Who needs it?
Corey needs some.
Corey needs some.
Corey and Ross.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
give yours to
do.
Roz.
We'll do 2 and 2 then. So, R2. Sorry, that's 4d6. 4d6. That's for Roz. 4d6. That's for Corey. And it's expelled.
Okay.
Sorry, Lester.
So, as you all eventually come to the end of the collapse where the cave opens up the rest of the way, Corey, could you narrate for us, since you can't shut up this voice, and it probably just makes you think even more about it, what's been going through Corey's head for this past minute as all of this has been going down?
I think that Corey, it's just been like a cavalcade of like different thoughts. Like, oh gosh, Roz is fucked up. We're all fucked up. Are we gonna die down here again? Oh my gosh! And then,
Imagine we're like, oh my god, shut up.
I know, like it's not making it better.
You also
You know,
hear
like,
this
what-
voice, Corey. So if that like reflects like what you think about or how you
yeah.
think about it, or like
Yeah,
Hermia's
Like-
like, you're gonna give me a panic attack.
I know. I'm like, why the hell are my thoughts projecting right now? Gosh, is that what my inside voice sounds like? It sounds so different than what I thought initially. Oh God, everyone's looking at me now. I'm stressing everybody out. I'm such a failure.
Put a
I
hand
failed
on your
everyone.
shoulder to try to
I-
calm me down.
you feel Leo's hand.
And then I think of Leo's dead bodies. And I think of Roz's dead body. And then I imagine all of our dead bodies here crushed under the
Actively
rock.
struggling
Yes.
not to have a panic attack.
Okay, and eventually the narration just suddenly stops after a minute.
Oh.
And as you
That might have been
all
worse than the fireball.
as you all eventually get near the
sorry.
end, and one by one you are able to slip out. Corey being helped out by Leo, smacks her head on something and goes unconscious again because the remaining damage that everyone takes as you're escaping is 16.
My God. I tried. I'm sorry.
I will take out a potion and.
I'll cure wounds. I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a
yeah.
spell slot.
Spell.
Oh, okay.
Axe spell slot available.
Yeah, yeah.
So cure wounds. 1d8 plus 5. 7 HP core.
There we go.
And as everyone's pulled out one by one, crawling out of the small spaces and the fitting between rocks in some cases that were almost impossible to get through, you are all now in a wider tunnel here. Plenty of room to spread out, to sit down, to catch your breath.
Hey, Rayella? Why the
Yes,
fuck did the elders talk fondly of this place?
because we didn't normally walk through blowing things up.
I know you're right, but still.
Rayella is also going to drop a healing spirit at 3rd level. And how often?
It's
Can
her
you hear?
wisdom plus 1.
Wisdom plus 1, so she can do it 4 times at 2d6. And it's just 2d6. You don't add anything else to that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, so
It's the fact that it repeats that makes it helpful, I guess.
10, Corey, you can heal for another 25 HP as Rayella comes and summons this spirit sort of around you that looks like it almost at first you kind of think dragon in the way that it's or like a worm, at least in the way that it's like sort of long, but as you look at it and as it kind of begins to float around your body, it has small wings as well and looks more eel-like. And just begins to like circle around you for several seconds, and you watch as some of your wounds begin to stitch up and heal until it vanishes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Roz starts like trying to get her the plate, her chest plate off, and has to like yank it out because the side of it, it was already like punctured from when the red cap had like put a sickle through it, and now after the rock falling, it's just completely sheared away. And she holds up like, I don't think this one's gonna buff out, guys. This is what we call back home. Get a new one.
Does anyone have the mending cantrip?
I
Does that even work?
Silas probably was.
It does.
Is that? Go for it.
Would you like me to attempt to fix it?
Can that replace missing mithril?
We can try.
Sure.
I don't think that I don't think any pieces of it are necessarily missing, because even at points where like the red cap sickles would have punctured through it, those are very sharp instruments that would have just basically popped a hole in it. So yeah, given some time, Zealous can repair your armor.
Yeah. If it's gonna take time anyway, Ross will just work on repairing it.
Well, he can definitely make it go a little bit faster. So you guys were about halfway through a long rest. Do you want to resume take a short rest.
Would you like me to cast Wall of Stone to entomb us once more?
Thank you.
No.
Please.
No, I would not.
Please,
I'll tell
I have
you.
a new trauma.
Weirdly, I don't feel particularly sleepy.
She's just like on the ground.
Hermia's already napping again.
How did she do it?
All right, well,
It's
let's.
more like she
Honestly,
like
it's
was
Yes, her
crying on the
priorities
floor
straight.
and she couldn't breathe and she just passed out.
It's like a defense mechanism.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah.
In real
She
life,
does.
too.
She doesn't
Yep.
have to deal with her problems if she sleeps.
That's why it's a. Never mind. We're not gonna go there.
It's like a
Oh no, that's
terrible
exactly
job.
why Hermia likes sleep so much, Maeve.
All right. So you do decide, and both Rayella and I think Xana both mentioned, like, we should at least take time to tend to our runes, recover, and then we can
Yeah.
try to keep on. So everyone go ahead and spend hit dice if you would like
Cozy
to.
Orb is out.
What does that do again?
Double your con modifier for your whatchamacallits.
So whenever you roll a hit dice, instead of adding your con once, you get to add your con twice.
That's good because I'm spending all my hit dice. All right. Great.
You should. You want
Yeah?
me to heal us up a bit before we spend our hit dice?
Our hit dice are less valuable than your healing spells.
But if we're gonna like have a long rest, then
We're not. We're
I
only
think
doing
we're
a
just
short
doing a
rest.
short rest, unfortunately.
Well, I get my pack
I
spell slot
can
back.
also use my hit dice to heal other people.
Well, I
I
didn't.
didn't
has
take
anyone,
any damage.
has anyone
so-
spent any hit dice? It doesn't say I
I
have.
just did it.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have actually spent hit
Yeah,
dice
I think
yet,
everyone
so-
should be at full hit dice because you had a
Yeah.
long rest and you don't normally have to worry about spending any.
Here, let me just.
Well, no,
Not
I was
anymore.
meaning I can spend my hit dice for someone else. So, like, if someone needs.
Oh,
healing
right,
on
because
top
you
of
you also
everything
you also
else,
didn't take any damage.
Sorry, this is gonna
Oh,
take me a
damn it.
second.
And I also have the Everlight bracers that allows me to give other people healing through my hit dice.
8 plus.
Ooh.
5 is lowest is
Riella's getting
11.
some decent heals off of this. All right, that's probably
Sorry,
good
I'm
for
adding these
her.
a different way. Okay, I need to keep going. 8 plus 16.
All right, Xana is at 40. Oh, she got that. She got that +4 con, so that's actually 8. Damn. God, that cozy orb of comforts is actually kind of broken.
Don't say it's broken.
Don't take it away.
You're right. Please don't take it away. I'm pretty sure we bought it if it makes you feel any better.
You did.
Yeah, so.
Like, I just rolled a 1 on my hit dice, and Xana's getting 9 healing back from that.
I was just looking. Roz has one more dose of Kaotim's ointment.
Oh, God.
You gonna eat
Is
it?
she just, like, squeezing it into her mouth?
I don't. She's fully healed,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I would just look at as it says. As an action, one dose of the ointment can be swallowed or applied to the skin.
Oh, it can be swallowed.
Oh.
Okay.
It does
Oh.
specify you
All
can
right.
swallow it.
That's so funny.
So
Fair
gross.
So as you were all sitting down and kind of resting up and healing, Xana sits down next to you, Corey. I don't know if I was hearing things, what with the rocks falling all around us and then ringing in my ears, but did that voice say that you loved me?
Corey, I think Corey would have just like hugged Xana in the middle of that,
Oh,
and she just like,
and she puts an arm around you and just kind of holds you there for as long as you're going to hug her then.
shut up. We might die down here, and I'm really scared.
Look at her. And she points over at Rosalind. 2 days ago, she got filleted. And
Thanks, Xana.
15 minutes ago, she got crushed. Do you think anything that Exandria has to offer is going to keep her down?
Okay, but I'm not Roz, and I don't have a god looking out for me, and
as
I'm gonna die down here.
You're
and
not going to die down here. As long as she draws breath, as long as I do, we're going to watch out for you. And I can promise we're a lot more reliable than any gods. All right.
just sniffling, I punch her shoulder and I say, "Then watch your step next time."
That's fair. And she just keeps her arm around you while you're all resting up here.
I'd like to recast Luster.
Okay.
Give him a big hug.
I feel like you
Recast
resummon Luster and he looks around in the cave and goes, "Oh."
I just give him a hug and
gives
I
you this look.
apologize.
Gives you this look like you can send me back until we're out
You
of
can
here.
wait.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you could've
fine.
waited.
Do you want me to not summon him, guys?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
That's what we feel like Luster's probably saying.
Yeah, no.
like,
Luster's with Roz. It sucks down here.
This place is terrible. I hate it.
I get to hang out with the Moonweaver when I'm not summoned. So like, if you just want to send me back to the Moonweaver realm, like I'm cool with that.
Buddy, can you stay with me, please?
No, I think that Luster when it comes back out, because he's perfectly
Yeah.
fully healed up at that point, so he goes around and plays emotional support dragon and gives people head bumps and licks people.
Lots of licks.
And then probably curls up next to Hermia since she's like just flat out sleeping. Time does pass for Luster when he's summoned away, yes.
Does he know what's happening to Maeve?
I don't know, I guess that would be up to Maeve how what
They
what
always
he's,
know.
what he's aware of. Yeah.
What do you mean what's happening to Maeve exactly?
You're
Like when
plagued.
he's not like here, like he goes
Oh.
back to. Does he know what's happening? Like, can he like?
Does he see you by the Moonweaver's side when he's not on Earth?
I'm gonna leave that up to you if you think there's like this connection that you had that he's just always aware of what's happening,
I think so. I think that connection is gone if she were to die.
or like be
'cause-
unconscious or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, not necessarily. Well, maybe unconscious, because by the rules, Luster can still do stuff when I'm unconscious, but if I die,
Oh, that's fair enough. Fair
he
enough. Yep, yep.
disappears.
All right.
So
Fair. All right. Is anyone making the effort to keep eyes or ears out while you are having this short rest?
am I allowed to still have spent my hit die if I do that?
Yeah.
Yes, then yes, I am.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check for me. Zealous, if you also were, you can make one as well.
28 for me.
Okay.
26.
All right. Nearing the end of this short rest, as you were deciding or getting ready to head further on to head out, both Zealous and Maeve, you hear something further down the tunnel. It sounds like footsteps. They are careful. Whatever's making them is making an attempt to be unheard. You can't see anything. The tunnels are too twisting. You're not sure exactly how far they are. But both of you kind of hear it. You take a moment, and then you look at each other for confirmation, like, yeah, I hear it too.
I'll think in his head. Best case scenario, it's one of my people that heard the commotion and went to check it out. So we should be on our guard, but I don't want to necessarily try to hide us.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
No, that is the opposite of what I was trying to say.
I love it.
Is what we should not do.
As
Yes.
Hermia wakes up and just hears shoot, she goes, fireball.
No.
I could go scout ahead. It'd be that hard.
I don't like the idea of anyone going off alone out here. I think they'll be coming here soon. I suppose we could greet them.
What,
With a
there's someone
fireball,
coming
right?
now?
There's footsteps. Someone is trying to stealth in here.
Roz just complains as she gets to her feet and gets her
I'm
sword and shield up.
hoping it's
Rayella will reach out and cast invisibility on Leo. She says, "Go check it out."
See you soon, Leo.
And I rolled an 18 plus 13 for stealth.
Okay.
31. This
So
poor
yes,
guy.
you are a shadow, especially with invisibility, and you go about 30, 40 feet up the way around the bend, and looking down, there's a steep decline down this tunnel, and you see making their way up, two with short bows drawn, the other with a small, slender, curved blade out, and a small shield on the other wrist. You see 3 pallid elves that are slowly working their way up the decline towards you.
I'm not going to alert them of where I'm at. I'm going to send a message back to Roz. There are 3 pallid elves. They have weapons drawn. I don't know how to not be threatening towards them. I'm coming back.
Roz just kind of nods
That's fair.
and looks at Maeve. Are your people shoot first, ask questions later kind of people?
Right now, they probably would be.
Okay, good to know. There's 3 of yours on the way.
Okay. Rael, should we greet them or should we just wait for them to come here?
Is there like a secret pallid elf handshake you can use?
I've got it.
Okay.
And she kind of walks a little further up, not quite around yet, and she lets out this quick series of whistles.
Mm.
And there's a
Not a handshake, but we got that.
pause before you hear from that direction. Crimson Vine? It's Rayella. I have others with me.
Roz puts her sword away.
And she eventually comes back around, and you watch as these 3 pallid elves come up behind her.
I am immediately up front.
Oops, one sec, sorry. And there, you see 3 of them. The 2 with short bows are feminine presenting. The other one is a male who's kind of up front. The other sort of flanking him. And kind of looks over all of you, kind of taking you in. And they look back to Rayella and then over to Maeve, and Rayella kind of gives a nod. Yes, that is the Ashfall. The Farseer. She smiles at you.
Time Mavra, please. Just Time Mavra is fine.
Yeah, you don't recognize
Yeah.
either of these 3, I think. No, you know what? You recognize one of them. An older woman, not quite moonborn, but was still very, very young when they came above ground. Part of the Summerglade clan. Her name is Rhine. But they all introduce themselves. The man's name is Colette Dinreed, Rhine Summerglade, and then the other one introduces herself as Rinstar Willowbright. Well, you all made quite a ruckus coming down here. We heard and felt whatever it was that you did, all the way into where the clans are.
There
My
were some
apologies.
bullets. They exploded.
Ah, the torpid variety. Yes, it's something new to the ecosystem.
So it is. Does this mean that we are close to where we are living?
It's probably about 30 minutes. We were already out on patrol when we felt things and came in this direction as quickly as we could to see what it was.
We are well enough to travel. I have some news to talk to with everyone down there. We closed the portal. It is no more.
They kind of whisper a bit to themselves and kind of look at one another before Colette kind of settles them. All right, well, if that's true, the council is going to want to speak with you right away.
Of course.
He kind of gives you a last, like, sort of look up look up and down, and then gives you, like, a slight smile, and then goes, well, come, all of you look like you are at least well enough to stand. It's better we...
Hermia's still on the ground.
Roz walks over and picks up Hermia and carries her princess style.
Fair enough.
It's better we make haste in case anything else down here is drawn to the sounds.
Agreed. Let us be off then.
So with that, following behind, Kellett and Rayala take the front. Ryan and Rinstar kind of take up the back as they kind of keep watch behind. And within about 20 minutes, making your way through the tunnels, you eventually start to feel and sense as the tunnels begin to widen and open up a bit more. I think anyone with a higher perception, so Zealous, Maev especially, given what you know, you actually start to notice whenever they make a turn or whenever they take a pathway that there are a series of stones kind of on the ground, not put in a obvious way like, oh, we've stacked some stones, but you start to see that the tunnels are marked in sort of like a numeric way with a certain number of stones near each other and with groupings that you kind of kick yourself for not noticing before, or maybe they aren't placed all the way through here. Who knows?
Yeah. We did have magic going against us in those other tunnels.
You did. But eventually you see there are some light sources down further in the tunnel. There's 2 torches on either side, and as you get closer, they're stopped. Stop briefly as someone calls to them. They give a similar whistle to what Rayala did, and as they come up, you see that there are about 6 other Pallid Elves that are stationed here at the opening of this cavern that you can see opens up wide and tall in front of you. Various light sources further in. There are some barricades here, boulders, and various other structures that have sort of been built in haste in order to sort of be, watch posts to defend against anything that may come in from the tunnels. And you are given leave to enter. One of the scouts or the guards there, as you are all sort of being introduced, or you hear Colette mention that the Farseer has returned and has brought with her other heroes. Someone just kind of turns.
Ivor's not happy about this.
Just turns and begins to sort of like dash further into this cavern. And as you get in, you start to take stock and kind of realize the type of settlements or the type of life that the Pallid Elves had when they lived underground here. And this is a wide sort of open cavern, and you see that on the walls there are like honeycomb style areas that sort of been carved into it, and then you see doorways that perhaps go further in, and they rise far up the wall. There are sort of hanging ladders. Some of them look a lot newer. Others look like you would not want to probably test how well they've been kept up down here. There's still
Sorry, that was my bottle.
plenty of goods, sacks, bags, smaller crates and barrels, a few very sparse wagons that have been down here, but it seems like however long they've been down here, it's still not moved into yet, if that makes sense. Groups of other Pallid Elves are starting to gather. You can see that people are talking. People are kind of pointing as you walk past them. It looks like a temporary place in just like this hive-style village. So as you begin to be further in, they start leading you further on. The crowds are starting to gather. There are people who are starting beginning to walk along behind you. You can hear the whispers now, and in an enclosed place like this, they're not hard to hear. And you can hear whispers of the Farseer's return begins to go amongst them. You hear people talking about the portal being closed. The majority of who's down here are definitely older. You see a few younger, kids. I assume also, Corey, you probably bring Sayria out of out of the box,
right.
out of the box as well. And it isn't too long before these crowds begin to converge a bit more. Like one person walks up to ask a question, and that emboldens the rest. And before long, you are surrounded as people are reaching out to you. They're taking your hand, and all of you as well. They start to shake your hand. Those that you will allow begin to hug you as well, and they're thanking you. Some of them are even like, I didn't believe, when you left, I thought that this curse was because of you, thank you for closing the portal. Can we go back topside now? Is the plague cursed? And questions are just coming from all over the place, overwhelming all of you.
Hermia's gonna wake up to her worst nightmare.
Yes,
People surrounding
yes.
her and just thanking
Yep.
her.
Mm-hmm.
Please, I will
Ke-
answer things in a moment.
Kellett's sort of trying to calm them as well, and the other two are kind of trying to push people. And once you actually speak, Maeve, a silence kind of washes over them, and all eyes are just glued to you.
This is creepy.
They wish for me to speak to the council first, and I will explain as much as I can once we are finished. I promise.
As you finish that, the crowd begins to part in another direction, and you see a familiar face as your mother, Thiena, arrives pushing through, and when she sees you, tears just begin to form in her eyes, and she rushes up and just wraps her arms around you and just squeezes you so tight and just begins crying.
Hello, Mother.
She is also flanked by two others that you do not recognize.
Okay.
I think you recognize them as elders, probably from one of the other Nors.
Okay.
But they kind of just stop for a moment, everyone awkwardly watching, just sort of giving you this moment. And
She hugs her back.
let me see how your mother looks. Okay. She seems to have the sickness as well, but is similar to you, right? So
Okay.
it's not too progressed. But so yeah, she's holding you, just kind of sobbing into your shoulder.
I'm sorry, Mother. I told you I'd come back eventually.
No, you don't need to apologize. You're okay. You're alive, and that's all. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Father, is he? We stopped by my house. I saw the letters. Is he?
She finally kind of doesn't let go. She still has her arms sort
Yeah.
of on your shoulders, but she turns and looks back towards the other two that are here with her. Sorry, Timavra. These are two elders from the other Nords. This is Sindar Duskheart and Talia Willow's Blush. And she just kind of defers to them, and Sindar, male, kind of steps forward a bit. Things have obviously changed a bit since coming down here. We have taken two elders from each Nor and created a temporary council here.
Of course.
Judging by the looks of you, you're going to need a bit of rest. The other elder and Kellett have kind of started to disperse the rest of the crowd. Now's not the time. You'll get your news. Go back to your business. Go back to your homes. Tend to what you normally do. Leave us for now, and we'll figure things out. But Sindar says we can get you a place to stay, to recuperate. But as soon as you feel up to it, the council would like to speak with you. I've already heard whispers of you having closed the portal, but we will have other questions.
Of course. I will be happy to answer things, and yes, if rest is available, my team is very tired.
Certainly. We have more than enough room here. These cities were for far more than what we have currently.
Right.
Xana, I believe you do have extra room where you are and some empty domiciles near then, so if you could show them. She says, oh, yes, of course. Very well. We will send word for you soon, but try not to take too long. If there's anything else you need in the meantime, water, supplies, we can spare what we can.
Thank you. Perhaps after we will. Well, the water now, of course.
Yep.
Yes, and food.
Kellett, if you and your 2 scouts don't mind staying with them, just in case others perhaps get a bit too curious and impatient. And he nods. Very well.
Everyone, this is my mother, Xana.
It's a
Ma'am?
pleasure. Why don't we head home? We can do proper introductions there.
Of course.
Rayella, say Raya, it's good to see that you made it. Rayella nods and goes, speaking of which, I'm going to see if I can't help Sayria find her parents, but if you need me for anything else, just let me know.
She'll hug Rayella and just be like, I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to talk more, but thank you for being here.
She hugs you back, and Sayria goes around and gives everyone a hug as well, and Corey says, thank you for letting me stay with your friend, and I'm sorry that you guys had to deal with what you guys had to deal with. I don't think I would have made it if it wasn't for you, so thank you.
Oh.
And she hugs you.
Nice to you.
She hugs you again and gives you a kiss on the cheek as well.
Corey got 2 girlfriends.
Have a good day.
Aw.
And her and Rayella head off as your mother leads you over towards the side of the cave where one of these sort of honeycomb sort of things are. And it's kind of carved out in a way that you could see sort of like this enclosure or sort of this piece being carved out of the wall almost as like a front porch sort of. And then there's sort of a hole in the back that goes in a little bit deeper. And there's, where you are here, you see like there's a few other families, kind of like 2 or 3 down here, but the majority of them do see empty. So each of you messing up,
by the way.
Okay.
I think so. That's what I hear at least.
So you introduce each of the second chances to your mother.
do.
If you'd like to do that, you may, just in case there's any specific introductions you want to give here. I don't know, just...
You know what you're thinking of. It's fine. I was going to anyway. This is Rosalind. She's, she's been quite the leader and is very strong.
Roz is still holding Hermia, or she would wave.
This is Hermia.
Hermia is invisible.
While
As
I'm
soon as
holding
she
you?
hurt people, yep.
Well, she's currently invisible, but she's holding a Hermia.
Is there a bed I could lay her down in, please?
Yes,
No, don't leave me.
Yeah, you're still kind of walking over there
Speak now.
as introductions are being done, but,
Yeah.
but
All right,
yes.
she finally sets you down,
All right.
Hermia.
Hermia's holding on to you.
Oh.
Please don't
Okay.
go.
Okay.
They're together. It's sure my mom will understand. This is Silas. He is an automaton, who is very proficient in the druidic arts. This is Leo. He's from above ground, but he's been very just kind of making sure that we're all together, and he's also very good with
Sorry, now the music's great.
Yeah, now
What's
the
happening?
music's even worse. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's weird.
I'm just gonna wait a second.
All right, go ahead and try again.
Okay, that's better. This is Leo.
Oh, by the way,
He's,
when you say he's from above ground, your mom goes, I assume most of
I
them are
know,
from
I-
above ground.
The problem was I was literally about to say Shady Creek, and
Yeah.
I went, "That's weird." And I didn't know what else to say, and I was like, but he's very skilled in also in tracking and just strategizing. And this is Corey, who is also very experienced with magic and has been very helpful for all of us. And I didn't miss anybody, right? Oh, Xana, right, of course. That was
Xana, by the way, is further back.
Wow.
Like, she's bringing up the
I
rear.
didn't forget
so...
Xana. I just wanted to make sure I didn't
Mhm.
miss anybody. And this is one of my partners, Xana.
She waves.
Pull her to the front.
Okay. She is currently in ASMR form as Aurora right now. Ma'am? And your mother's like, partners plural?
It's a bit of a long distance thing, but his name is Kalen. He's a bard, but he's currently in Jorhas right now.
Well, I will definitely want to learn more about both of you. She looks at Xana, who looks very
Xana.
uncomfortable.
I squeeze her hand, meeting the parents. Never awkward at all.
She does not have a way to make herself invisible, but would like one.
No, don't do this to me.
My name is, I am Tamedra's mother, Thiena Ashcall. So whatever you need, just let me know. But please come this way. And she leads you in. And when you get inside, imagine Tatooine. Like when you go into houses in Tatooine, and it's just like it's just like a room full of like dust and dirt. And they haven't lived down here for 50 years either, so it's not like there's a lot of like, nothing here really makes it feel homey, if you will. Hopefully, if you have any of your own bedrolls, we only really have what we have, but feel free to make yourself at home wherever you need. They should be hopefully along with some water and rations and supply shortly. Maev, and she kind of pulls you away from the rest of them.
I will look to everyone, including Xana, and be like, I'll be right back. And go over with her.
Your father's here, and he's doing well. The plague was progressing somewhat rapidly with him. Luckily, since getting back below ground, it has halted the progress. Some of us have been recovering slowly but surely once down here, but some, we're not sure why, haven't. He has lucider moments, and sometimes he falls into a bit of a coma. But if you'd like, I haven't checked on him in some time. He was sleeping last I checked, but
I can go with you if you think that's okay. I'd like to see him.
So she leads you a little bit further in. There's a very, very old door that looks like it's barely holding on to the hinges, sort of made out of dried and rotting wood. But as you head back, she opens it and kind of peers inside. And you see him in there sitting on the bed, but it draws his attention. Someone's here to visit. And she looks to you. I'll give you some time.
Right. Thank you. She'll walk inside. I assume the door closing.
Yep. Close the door behind you.
When her mom comes back out, we're all doing that thing where we're standing in exactly the same spot. Help us like make ourselves at home, but we're millennials, so we don't. We just keep standing right there talking.
I think Xana probably would have stepped back outside just to keep an eye, but
Zealous is actually going through a bunch of the cupboards and stuff.
they're all empty.
Zealous.
Still gotta look and make sure.
What?
Tell you what, make
All right, so I was wrong. Just Roz is still standing there awkwardly.
roll.
I would stand there awkwardly with you.
Roll a d10, Zealous.
That's why my
D10?
father figure in this game.
Yeah, roll a d10.
5.
A 5. Now roll a D100.
Oh God.
Oh God, what are you finding?
Found a can soup.
40.
Did you say 20?
40.
40. As you are looking through the cupboards...
Find a displacement cloak. What?
Sorry, 40 you said?
40.
40.
40.
Okay. As you are looking through the cupboards, there's not really anything. There's not a whole lot of like storage areas kind of in here really. But there's like a few crates here or there. Don't really have anything interesting in them. And as you're kind of looking around, you notice underneath there's like a seat sort of carved and built into the wall. And there's a blanket sort of laid over it. And you notice what's kind of scrunched up on the side. You see like a crease, or you see like a gap underneath it. As you wander over and kind of move the blanket, there is a wooden like top on it to where you can like kind of take it off and use down underneath it as storage.
Ooh,
and so you kind of open it up and look down in there, and you see down in the corner, covered in dust and like mildew, you see this little book bound in gray leather. And you kind of pick it up and wipe some of the dust off it, blow it off. And the title, you can't read it at this point. It was stamped on the cover in like a faded blue foil, but a lot of it is sort of peeled off and worn away. But as you begin to open it up and start to flip through it, what languages do you speak?
Ice. This one speaks Common, Druidic, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Giant.
Okay. It is in Elvish.
Yes.
And as you begin to flip through it really quick, it tells the story of a young girl who has to sneak through her father's castle after it's been invaded by pirates. And everyone else in this room, you see Zealous kind of leafing through this, and then he vanishes.
Oh, no.
Uh,
Oh, fuck. I don't need this. Well, you all can deal with that. Honestly, I'd rather deal with that than my father at this point, but I don't have a choice, so.
He vanishes.
Does
Just
the book stay or
gone.
No, book's gone too.
Is there like a poof or anything, or is it just like a blip?
You're just gone.
Had to search the cupboard, Zealous.
I don't know. I would find a teleporting
Is
mystical
there-
book of.
Roz looks over at Leo and is like, "Hey, I'm really tired, and I definitely think one of those rocks landed on my head. Did Zealous just disappear?"
Zealous, you hear Rosalind ask this question.
Oh no, he's invisible. Oh god.
he's gone? I don't see him either, so I don't think you're having hallucinations.
Ari's cried. Where's Zealous?
And ran over, apparently.
Zealous, as you hear this, you kind of stop reading the book and look back over towards them, and he reappears there, still holding the book.
Oh my god. That's actually a really cool ability. What?
How did you do that, Zealous?
You didn't.
You what?
You disappeared and then reappeared.
No, I'm just reading this book. It is quite captivating. It is about a princess who is going through her father's castle after it has been taken over by pirates.
Also, once you open it up and began reading it, the title is A Quiet Step. So if you want to add that to your inventory, A Quiet Step.
You keeping it personally?
Roz looks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roz looks very tired and does not ask any more questions.
Diaz goes back to reading the book.
And as he starts to read the book again, he vanishes.
Where did you go again?
Just gonna stay there.
So Maeve, you're standing there
Yeah.
across from your father. He reaches sort of to the end of the bed and tries to stand up. You can see that he's having trouble. And as soon as he sort of gets up off of the bed and tries to walk towards you, he falls to the ground.
She tries to catch up. Father, hold on. I'll come to see you in the bed.
As you pick him up, you can tell he's He's not as emotional as your mother is. I think that given his state and with your insight, like you can tell that those same emotions that your mother was feeling are there, but he's trying to sort of keep up that image.
Yeah.
And as you kind of help him back up onto the bed and sit him down, you notice a familiar quilt is on the bed next to him.
You brought that with you?
He nods. To Maev, he can't quite make eye contact with you as he's searching for words. I don't even know where to begin. I'm sorry. He looks up at you.
Sorry? You're sorry?
It took too long and for too much heartache to realize it, but yes, I'm sorry for all that I tried to force upon you. I'm sorry that I just treated you like a protege and not like a daughter.
She fidgets her hands together as she closes her eyes for a moment. I appreciate the apology. I wasn't really sure what or who I'd find when I came here. I got your letter. I couldn't read parts of it, unfortunately, but
He kind of seems a bit confused. Letter.
she
Ah,
pulls out.
Yes.
The
No.
letter.
I have the sickness makes it puts gaps in your memory sometimes.
Well, I'll help be talking to the rest of the elders, but the portal is closed and gone. The plague is still on the land, unfortunately, but that will take, I think, more time.
The portal's gone?
Yes. This group I'm traveling with, that's what we do. And when I heard word of this plague and weird things happening, I had a feeling a portal would be here too. I only wish I'd known sooner. I'm sorry. For
No.
not being the right daughter sometimes.
You don't need to apologize to me. You're going to be, and you should be, who it is that you're going to be. I was the one who tried to force that on you. We saw how your departure affected the other Moonborn, the effect that the sway that you have with them. I tried to teach you to be what I was, what worked for when we lived down here. And I think what, not just you, but what the rest of that generation needed was something new. That's the whole point of escaping, was to live a new life, to live a different life. And now we are I'm being punished for it.
It's not just you all. These portals, they're happening all over the continent. It's a much bigger reason than I think I can explain, but you are
It's what
correct.
Chandra saw, isn't it?
I didn't have the courage to tell you back then, but when I went through my pilgrimage, I saw the same thing that Chandra did. But I was worried about telling you all, and I think I, at some point soon after, decided that I either needed to figure this out for myself or find Chandra and make all of this right again.
So I have failed both of my daughters in the same task. Well, I suppose the bright side is that like our way of life down here, it is the past and you're the future. You were able to figure out and close something that threatened all of the grove all on your own.
I didn't do it alone. I
Well,
have friends. I have people.
you did
who-
what 3 Nors and the entire council, Elders' Council, could not. You're more than deserving of the title that they've given you. You've done in only less than a year what I had hopes to teach you to do over decades. You've made a mark and you've protected your people.
She does start to tear up there because I think, despite the fact that she's had to be, had to learn to find others who appreciate her and to be strong on her own, this is a girl who just desperately wants her dad proud of her.
And I think as you start to tear up, he isn't able to hold it back anymore either, and he starts to cry. And he takes you into a hug and says, Timaver, I'm so proud of you.
And she's crying even more now.
I'm sorry that I couldn't see it before.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'm gonna make this right. I promise. Chandra is still alive. She's just on a different path I can't reach yet, but I'll make this right, and whatever the elders have to say about it, I'll weather it. I won't be able to stay, Father.
I understand. And for as long as I've known you, whether we saw eye to eye or not, you never left a job unfinished. So if anyone's able to fix whatever it is that you're out there fixing for this oracle, you're the one to get it done.
I will. Thank you. She'll sit with her dad for a while, I think.
Okay.
And eventually she'll dry her eyes and say that she's gotta come back out before if he has any questions for her, she'll answer. Of course.
I think you also notice too, like he asks you about like what's been happening, where your travels have taken you, things like that. But
Yeah.
I think very quickly you do start to notice his. I don't want to say his mind is wandering or his attention is wandering, but you know how sometimes older folk just kind of lose focus on what's happening. You kind of notice that a bit, and when you mention that you should head back out, he lays back down and falls to sleep pretty quickly.
Okay.
As this is happening in here, was there anything else that the rest of you would want to be doing? Kellett and the other two do show up with a smaller cask of water and some
It's my
sort of like
mother, grilling
dried
Xana.
dried meats and stuff like that. Xana's not in here.
Oh, she's left.
Roz would just ask if there's somewhere she can go clean up and see about at least straightening her armor out enough that it's wearable.
Yeah, I think that as far as cleaning up goes, she mentions there is an underground stream. It's a little out of the city, and is said it's not safe right now, basically, and they're also not sure how safe the water itself is, given the way that the effects of the portal and the curse or the plague have been happening. So as far as cleaning up goes, kind of a little out of luck. But she does go out.
Like, I just need like a bowl with some water and a rag.
Water is a bit premium right now, essentially.
Gotcha.
But
create destroy water, buddy, Zealous.
Why would I need that spell?
she does go down a few houses though, and comes back with some tools. They're not like armor repair tools, but like they'll
Roz
get.
has that. Roz has repair tools.
Okay, so whatever it is you need, if it's not too specialized, she's able to help you find that.
Corey can prestidigitate too, so that'll help.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so they yeah, if you all needed a moment to like kind of get yourself all cleaned up a bit more better, you have to basically do it through magic.
Fair enough.
Zealous offers Ra's screwdriver.
Also, Zealous, if you do spend some time reading that book, you quickly find out that yes, so long as you are reading the book, you become invisible.
Start to learn how to read while walking.
My favorite book.
You know what? It's better than that stupid ranger ability that they had to errata out.
Eventually, though, Maev does come out. And I think during this, you were all probably getting little questions, little Q&A from Mama Ashfall. Where are you from? What are your parents like? How was growing up? Just very like, small talky, getting to know you type stuff.
Oh, this is where Maev gets it from.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She also lets you know that one of the things that Maev liked to do when she was littler, her and her sister, is they used to like to make their own dolls. They would go out and basically like scrounge up everything they needed to make their own dolls from scratch.
Damn it. Thanks, Mom. You're saying Xana's not in the room?
She's not.
Thanks, Xana.
Mhm.
That's fine.
I'll be relaying all that information to Xana if she's within 100 feet of me.
So you finally come back out, and it's
Yeah,
pretty small out here, so everyone sees. So she turns her attention. Did everything go all right? I think everyone can see that you've been crying.
Yeah, it was good. I think, that talk was kind of a long time coming. I did update him on what's been happening, but of course, I know he's still has a lot of resting to get done.
He seems to only lose energy and not really gain it back. But you said the portal's gone, and I think some were theorizing that that's what was causing it.
I believe so. The sort of enemy that we're fighting against, I don't know how or why, but I suspect that some of the Crawling King's power had been able to come through here.
You see sort of a grave look comes over her face.
I know.
I see.
It's not good news, but
But on the bright side, your daughter got a direct blessing from the Moonweaver, so there was that.
right. She'll show her the quill.
The
The
quiver. Yeah, she
Sorry, couldn't think of the word quiver.
steps forward, and yeah, that seems to completely have pushed the Crawling King idea out of her mind, and she kind of like reaches forward and kind of runs her hands across it. She's at like a loss for words as she looks at it, and then she kind of like stops and noticing the scales on it, she also turns over and
Yeah.
Luster, I think this whole time has just kind of been behaving and being a good boy, kind of like over in the corner. And I think if she tried to ask anybody else, they'd have basically been like, talk to Maev. And so she kind of finally looks over and goes, does that mean that the Tracha's well was a blessing from Sehanine?
Yes. Well, a little more than that. Do you remember Luster?
Of course I do. That's...
Well, that's him just in a
Comes over and
form.
kind of, does like the stands up on the back legs thing and
Aw.
gives him some scritches. He nuzzles against her. I don't know how your meeting with the Elder Council's going to go. I know that their opinions of you and of our family are varied, but
Yeah.
do not downplay the fact that the Moonweaver blessed your journey. That
I
means
will.
that you leaving and what you've been doing was, if not ordained, at least in some way acknowledged by the gods. And that's going to have more sway with some of them than you may think.
Not just the Moonweave either. We got Melora, the Raven Queen, Avandra. We're building a whole collection here.
Sarenrae.
Sarenrae.
Earth Mother.
That is
I said
indeed
Melora.
very impressive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind when I talk to them. Mother, Norrison was originally with us, but he didn't make it. It's his family here.
Oh, Maeve, I'm so sorry. And she gives
okay.
you a hug.
She looks her again. Is like this. Everything's so complicated. Yeah.
Yes, his parents are here. I can deliver the news for you if you think it would be too difficult.
No, I should be the one to do it.
Hermia uninvisibles herself and was like, "Hi, Mrs. Maeve. Maeve, I can go with you since I was the one who helped him to the other side."
They know of the Raven Queen here. It's not, I think,
Well, just
specifically worship, but I was gonna say, but I do think hearing your perspective of it would be helpful.
I
Yes.
was just gonna let them know that it was a fate that he chose, and he's happy to be with his wife.
Melandra. Yeah. Yeah.
And also, you will notice that like her face is all red and blotchy, and she's just been crying while she's been invisible.
I'm sorry. We'll maybe do it, after some rest. I think, especially since I don't wanna make the council wait any longer. So, perhaps after that we might be able to. Unless I should do it before, but
I would probably go to the council first. I
that's what
will
I thought.
I will head over there and I guess
I mean, you can let them know if you think it's best, but I will definitely, with Hermia, speak with them. Especially since I assume they will have questions.
she nods. All right, well, I'm going to go check on your father before then. Kellett should be able to take you to where the council is.
Okay, thank you. And I think Maeve's gonna sit down for the fucking first time. And just let out a long exhale.
Yep. As the door opens and closes back in the room where your father is, Xana kind of peeks around the corner from outside and then awkwardly just steps in.
Trying to avoid my mother that badly?
I've never had to meet parents before.
I know. I understand. Well,
Your mom asks a lot of questions.
You watch as Xana starts to say something, but then thinks better of whatever it is and doesn't.
What is it?
Not appropriate.
Okay. Well, I guess the world is ending because my father apologized to me.
Oh, Maeve, normally that would be funny, but the world might actually be ending.
Fair enough.
Ugh.
No, I think if the world ended, my dad would appear and apologize to me. So I think we're still safe.
Either way, he's unfortunately pretty not doing well with this illness.
Same plague you have?
Yes, he's just worse off along than me. I think I'm one of the lucky ones, to be honest with you all, but gonna keep moving as best I can. I don't.
Glad it went well with him. I know you were nervous about that.
Yeah, I was. I don't know what I was expecting. I think just a lot of quiet anger. He was always more cold than fiery, if that makes sense.
My dad was the same way.
But, he apologized and said he was proud of me. So
You'd be a fool not to. And I imagine realizing that your decisions helped to run off your two only daughters probably gave him perspective.
yeah, I think so. And he understands about me leaving. He's not upset about that. So he just said I always finish what I start, so I better finish this one too.
Yeah.
But the next thing we're gonna be facing the council. I will do most of the talking unless they need to know specific things about you all. Elder council politics are irritating, and much like Warden, I would not be surprised if some of them will just not be satisfied. There's a chance some will say some unpleasant things about me. So, if that's the case,
I get it.
please don't punch any noses.
Won't
We can
threaten
wait
anyone.
until after the meeting to punch those noses, right?
Would you like me to just wait outside? I mean, I could just wait here.
No, it's fine. They should see all of you. They should know who was involved here. And then after that, Hermia will be coming with me, and I will be speaking to Norrison's parents. But truth be told, I'm not really sure what else to tell them. They're gonna want to know what happened to him, and part of me thinks it would just be easier and kinder to just say he died heroically.
Don't lie. You don't have to be cruel about it, but he perished on the journey. That's all you have to say.
Pose.
I
Look at it
think
this
they
way.
will.
You tell him that he died heroically, and then they ask Briella or Saria, and they say something else.
He stayed behind originally to be with his sick wife. I think that was heroic enough. He wasn't a fighter, and I'm sure that they know that.
That's true. Very well. I can do that. My relationship with his parents wasn't bad per se. Especially once they found out I was, the clan leader to be, but I wouldn't say I always felt necessarily welcomed, necessarily. I don't think that was because they're bad people. I think it was just my own kind of wall of separation and the awkwardness of our relationship, so I just want to do right by them.
And tell them what happened. Tell them the truth.
Okay. And the council, I think I'm not sure how much to say of our journey, but my father knows about the Oracle, which means that, I'm not sure how much good it's going to do to hide all of that, necessarily. But I could ask my mother, maybe.
I have a question. The further down that we are, does it seem like the curse that's on the land is stronger the further down we go?
It's difficult to see the same effects down here that you were seeing in the grove itself, because it seemed to be affecting living things. So the more plants you have, the more trees, the more animals. But I will I think that having seen inside to that other world and seeing like this bog, or just the way that whatever this curse, this sickness was in there. And if you remember, one of the two people that you saw on the other side who were helping you had said something along the lines of like pulling that back. I think what he said was, "Steel yourself, young heroes. We shall pull back the poison that's spilled into your world.
So like
This blade is
like
not yours to
the-
burden."
the
So
curse is kind of like a blanket over the land, not something that's like deep in and like emanating outward.
yeah, and I think that with a lot of the checks that you've made and a lot of the insights that you've had yourself, I think that what's happening to the Pallid Grove is twofold. You have this theory that the portal itself and just the nature of like this planar breach had created some sort of disturbance on the prime material plane in this location that has somehow given the Crawling King more sway here than he should have, probably because it's an important location to him in regards to the hatred that he has for the Moonweaver. And then you also had this blight from this other world that was also affecting the land. So now that you're down here, the blight isn't so bad, but the effects of the Crawling King's influence can still be felt to some degree.
And I guess like there's monsters down here that like they said aren't like usually down here.
Yep. So boulettes are
But not the fire
normal,
kind.
but the torpid boulettes, yes, is definitely something new.
Okay.
But do we know whether this plague is the one affecting the land or from the Crawling King?
You're not sure.
Okay.
I thought like the Arcana, and I think I did religion too, was like the curse was like, I'm gonna say divine almost in nature, that
Yes,
like
it's-
it was
it
like
is-
the influence of the Crawling King.
It is related to, but you're not sure if it's just one or the other, or if that was also a kind of combination of the two.
Yeah, it's awkward because it sounds like everyone's some people are recovering. My father is an exception, but we don't know like what if he just is rolling shit on his constitution rolls or if
Right.
he's
And
actually more effective.
and the people who aren't recovering also aren't getting worse. It just seems that if you progress to a certain stage, that your body just might not be able to fight it off, even if you aren't in the affected area anymore.
Oof, okay.
Right, and when I try to do like remove curse on Maev, like
It didn't work.
basically I was able to determine the only way to like remove the curse was to get Maev away from here.
Correct.
Because it wasn't like the people cursed, it was a land.
Which is also why when most people left the Grove for the Menagerie
got better.
Coast, they got better as well. And a lot of people that came underground got better as well.
Yeah, but the people who are just too far gone, I don't know. We'll have to see. There might be something else, or there may not be.
Yeah, Hermia will explain to Maev like the curse like being like a blanket, and explain that like that's the reason why people who leave the area get better, and those who come underground like seem to like stabilize.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, they don't get worse, but they're not like cured.
Well, I guess I'm not sure if the land above is really good for them. These people, some may want to leave, but some maybe, like my father, might be too sick to at this point. Well,
They'd probably be better off like moving towards Leaf's home and setting up camp there until the plague goes away instead of staying down here, though.
We have to
maybe, but
find the
journey-
source of like where the Crawling King's influence is. like, because like, wasn't there like I don't know if it was a theory or if you just said it was a good guess that like there was someone like helping to facilitate, like on our side, the crawling king being able to exert greater...
I think what your theory was is it possible that in that other world the crawling king wasn't imprisoned and he's somehow exerting his will through the portal?
Like my thing was like the crawling king has a kind of champion on this side.
Oh, I see.
And you said, like, I think we determined that it like was like a witch or something.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible that someone or something could be here that is focusing that sort of effect. But it's not something that you can seem to prove at the time.
Okay, I need to start taking better notes.
Yeah,
I could have sworn you said like, not saying like the person's still around, but like
sure
that.
Yeah, I mean, it could potentially be something similar to that, and you do also still have that letter from the lumbering company where the CEO or the president of it basically suggested that they should look into someone by the title of the Prism Sage to help them.
Oh yeah, you should ask if anybody knows who that is.
Yeah, I know. God. All right, there's a lot we gotta catch up people on. This is why all of you are coming with me.
Okay, so I can't turn invisible again.
I will, unless you want me to speak on your behalf. You would do better to explain some of these things. I'll help you if they start asking too many questions. I promise. I will be your shield.
The owlbear man.
I will shield you from them. Although, to be honest with you, they may, at best, treat you all with some distrust. But I will make sure to take whatever they're firing, if anything. They honestly may just be lost and just wanting answers. To be fair.
You watch as Xana steps back outside the door, and then 4 seconds later, the door to the bedroom opens up, and your mother comes back out.
Everything go okay?
Yes, he's fine. I think that, even though it may have taken a lot of energy out of him, I think that it was as cathartic for him as it was for you.
We're trying to figure out what to say to the council. Do they know about the oracle vision that Chandra and I saw?
I don't think they know that you saw it.
Okay.
But
well, it's a place to start.
The Ashfall clan is a bit infamous for other things now. It's surprising and a bit sad how quickly reputations can change, I suppose.
She looks down uncomfortably at that.
She comes over and takes a hold of you. No, that isn't your fault. All right, all you've ever wanted is to help people. And you're doing that now.
Right. Well, I can at least start from there with them, and well, whatever they have to say to that is what they have to say, I suppose. I think we all need some rest. You're looking around at everybody.
Well, I think that they probably are expecting you to come and debrief with them before you take too long of a nap.
Okay.
And maybe when you get back, Xana can come in and spend a bit more time inside.
She looks at the door and sighs. She's shy. I will do what I can.
Don't worry, we'll break down those walls one way or another.
That's what I tried to. That's what I've had to do. One wall, one brick at a time. Hey. Okay. We all ready to go then?
All right.
Yep.
So with
Any
that,
last words?
Dolvik in the
Corey
in the.
want to be in her box with Gil to do something?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, sorry, did I miss something?
Yeah,
Corey?
I think it was just farther up.
I'm
I
so
just
sorry.
I
Yep,
forgot
I see it.
too.
I see it. Okay, so yes, at some point during all of this, Corey, you were able to pop back into the box.
Say it again.
Hello.
There
Hello.
you go.
Hi. Yeah, Corey pops into the box and what scene does Gil prepare tonight?
I think that when you head in there, it's still just sort of the same thing that it has been. Gil doesn't seem to have returned to his. He doesn't seem to feel or want to put up that show for you. He only does it now when you bring other people in there. Does he feel a need to put on this air of entertainment and wonder?
Gil.
Well, that was a close one.
Yeah.
The Pallid Elf girl was nice. Didn't really have anything.
Were you nice to her?
Yes, I was nice to her.
Gil.
Gosh, she even had like this little, I don't know, pendant thing from like a grandfather or something. And I didn't even try to get her to give it to me as like an offering because it was honestly a bit like a thrift store, if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But yes,
And
I
you
was
didn't-
nice.
But you didn't say that, right?
No, I told her that it had character. And then we made cupcakes. She's never had a cupcake before. Can you imagine how backwater this place is that they'd never had cupcakes?
Hey, Gil.
That I didn't mean.
We don't use words like that to talk about people from different places.
Backwoods?
Different
We're
cultures.
literally in the woods out back behind them and not. Look at this. Isn't what you're here for. This isn't what. Come. He comes over and he holds his hands out to give you a hug.
I do the awkward side hug.
All right. No, he takes you into a full hug and just kind of starts patting your back. Tell me what ails you.
No, I just needed a breather. That's all. It's just a lot going on, and I have to speak, and I'm not going to be of much help, so I just thought I would take a break.
I think that you will be of great help to them, but if you don't want to speak, you could always tell them that. There's 7 of you. There's plenty of other people they can get to talk.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they're asking me to speak. I'm just saying that, they're talking and planning about what to do, and I just needed a second.
I'll take as long as you want. If there's anything I can conjure for you.
No, I think I'm good. I'm being selfish, right?
In what way?
I mean, we've always known that this stuff was dangerous, but it got really real, like really, really real these past few days, and I don't know, when Xana said one time that she wouldn't fault me if we wanted to leave, if I wanted to be with Faye, and if this was all too much. And
well, one of the things that I taught you is that before you can look out for anyone else, you do have to look out for numero uno. That's you. And he boops you on the nose. But,
No, I know.
knowing you like I do, I don't think that you would be truly happy going and living a normal life knowing that your friends were still out here risking theirs to save the world or whatever it is they're doing. Also, no offense to Faye, sweet girl, love her.
Gil,
Don't think she would be better in
No.
a fight against a white dragon than Rosalind would. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I know, duh. I
All
know.
right.
And that's why I feel like I'm being selfish. Like it's not fair to her that I could just die and she might not know. And
I think your friends...
like the Crawling King like showed her to me. Like they know about her. And that scares me because she's not, she's not like Kalen where he's fighting off in a war and he can take care of himself. Like
Corey,
she's
the gods can't do anything to anyone. All right, they've trapped themselves off behind their little gated community. All right, you don't have to worry about them. They're all talk, threats. They give you dreams and visions. Ooh, that's all they have. All right, no one's going to hurt Faye.
okay. Well then, what about Zelus's mom? I'm not.
I
understand
have
that
an
you're
answer
trying to
for
make me feel-
Zelus's mom, but I'm afraid you're just going to
Okay.
yell at me for...
I'm not trying to yell at you. I'm just saying
Right.
that I just.
Well, look, Zelus's mom was doing research and experiments into things that people with power covet. So it is no wonder that certain events eventually found their
Yeah.
way to her door. That's all.
Gil, can you shut up?
What do you want me to
For
say
once.
then, Corey? You came into here asking me to comfort you. So what would you like me to do, Corey? Make a wisdom saving throw, Corey.
Wisdom?
Yep.
For what?
Am I next to Roz?
No.
I would say notably you're not.
6.
All right. All of that anger, all of that frustration, it all just melts away as he casts calm emotions on you.
Oh, God, I hate charm spells.
There. Do you feel better now? It seems like you do.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. Now, since you jumped into here demanding so much of my time, you don't want to be too selfish. So now that I've helped you, go back out with your friends, and you are ejected from the box. And as soon as you find yourself back on the prime material plane among your friends, the calm emotion spell wears off, and all of those emotions flood back into you.
Rory punches the wall
Ah,
and visibly like
please,
because she
stone.
can't punch.
Did
That's
he
true.
not like the phoenix feathers?
I didn't even get a chance to give it to him.
No,
Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry, guys. What? Yeah. What are we doing?
You look good. You usually get thrown out of the box and then punch a wall.
Yep.
No.
We can wait a sec.
Hermia hugs you and kind of says quietly to you, "It's okay if you're not okay. I'm really not okay right now either."
I know. I'm sorry. Look, guys. I'm fine. We have a lot to do and we need to rest, and my fucking emotions can wait. So,
If some of you'd like, we don't all have to go. I've been asking too much of all of you already, so if it's okay with me if some of you want to stay, or if all of you do, I can handle this.
No, I'm here for you, Maeve. I'm here.
If one of us is getting thrown in jail, all of us are getting thrown in jail, so we're all going, man.
I was thrown in jail.
They won't.
Roz nods. Yeah, that was a good time.
We don't.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be thrown in jail. Worst they're gonna do is put us all back out there.
So we don't have to walk back out?
No, I meant they're gonna tell us to leave and go back through the tunnels.
No.
Oh, no.
That
No,
would
we're not
suck.
doing that.
I'd rather be in
That's
jail.
worse than jail.
No,
Yeah.
we'll have Leaf teleport us out of here before we do that.
That's fair.
Leaf looks around for a tree.
Yeah, it's gonna be like,
Gotta be some roots down here, right?
I mean, where I did my pilgrimage, I think there were roots.
There we go. Perfect.
We have to still go
Big
back to
ones?
the tunnel. What'd you say?
Big roots?
Yeah,
Like-
technically, yeah, they were large roots, but
Yeah,
we
but-
have to still go back through the tunnel.
You would have to go back through the tunnel.
Leaf goes, or Zealous goes over and casts mending on the wall that Corey punched.
The wall's
There's
fine.
like barely anything to
Stone with the strength of 7.
Yeah, it's
no
not.
offense
There's
to
not even
Corey.
a dent.
Yeah, Corey
Zealous
Corey-
goes over and mends the wall.
Corey
say, I think
definitely
Corey's
hit
hand
the
needs
wall. Corey definitely hit the wall, and then has been rubbing her knuckle the whole
I
time.
was gonna say, I think we need to
Yeah,
cure
I
wounds,
took a
not
point of
mending
damage,
spell.
not the wall.
Roz definitely looks at your hand and is like, "Hey, you know what? Don't even worry. We're gonna work on that. My aunt Des taught me how to fight. She was an orc lady. It's gonna be great. Don't worry. I got you. We'll You got like tape or something that we can put on those, or
Place a stone. How do you think the other pal
Yeah, it does.
out?
okay, great. No, we just need a little bit of tape and I don't know, 6,
I have a +1 to
8
strength.
years maybe to work on some bulking up. But yeah, no, we got this.
I have a +1 to strength. I definitely have tape.
All right. Are we ready to head
Yeah,
to...
should we get the Severus so I can... Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
Just stay behind me and I'll motion to you. All when needed.
So heading out, you
As-
let... Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as we are heading out, I will think to Xana. My mom thinks you hate her, so you're definitely gonna have to have some tea with her when we're back.
She doesn't respond, but since you're right there with her, you
Yeah.
do see her, like, visibly cringe.
I'll be right there with you. Get through this together. Let me keep going.
Her mom seems plenty nice. You could do way worse for an in-law.
It's in-law.
I'm aware. I don't...
That would make it easier.
Just shut up. And then in her head, and then in your head, Rosalind, she says to you, the last time I met someone's parents, I killed them all.
She hears back in her head. All right, well, you have a baseline for where to start then. I would go with not that.
Roz only has half to go off of.
Wait, did you murder Aurora's parents or Mira's?
No, I didn't meet either of theirs, but I once had to pretend to be engaged to someone to get close enough.
Damn.
Just the two of you, and I'm like mentally, what's going on?
Yeah, I think after the dam, you actually hear Xana like grumble, like
What just happened? Or else I'm gonna ask Roz.
nothing, and she like looks at Roz like, right?
I think to Roz.
Not a thing. Nothing happened.
Out.
All right, so Kellett
Why do
escorts all of you.
We're allowed to have conversations too.
Anyway.
Kellett escorts you all to a little ways across this city. This, not even quite a city, village size, at least what's been reoccupied. And I hope this song is okay. Nope, I wanted this one. And takes you to, you were maybe expecting like a bigger, more grand sort of thing. But again, a lot of these people are just sort of resettling, you know, a decades old. Nope, that's also kind of scary, isn't it?
Like, this is about to go real badly.
Oh God.
I already was not having high hopes,
The
but
plague
yikes.
of eyes shows up.
God. The elders come to me and have eyeballs on their stomachs. Oh, fuck.
Oh my god, that'd be so.
Stroll through Nicodranus might be what you're looking for.
All right, let's try that. We don't need anything like super serious, but it's also not necessarily sad. This will work. Thank you. So you're not led into like a hall or anything, as it seems like the survivors that are here are trying to stick to a smaller sort of area. So you are taken into another, it's probably a normal domicile. It's a bit bigger now, and it has kind of been retrofitted in a way. You know, there's a few different tables that are kind of put together. Lots of chairs in here if anyone wanted to take a seat. But as you are brought in, you see the two from earlier. You see Sindar Duskheart. You see Talia Willow's Blush. And, you know, Kellett comes up and kind of gives sort of this introduction of Maev the Farseer and her party. And kind of whispers towards you, good luck, as him and the other two kind of leave. Sindar stands up, everyone else still seated. Welcome, Farseer Ashcall. Please, you and your companions enter and take a seat. And he goes through and introduces everyone, some of which you know, some of which you've at least heard of. Kael'thas Crowbane, another man, is between him and Sindar. They are the council members that are representing Rivalome.
Okay.
And then Talia Willow's Blush and Pillar Pale Reed, who's they them presents non-binary, come from Amun Tool. And then you recognize Candaria Summerglade and Drusen Burning Star, who wasn't a council member. Their family was never a council member as far as you remember. So it seems that in what has happened, this is probably the person who replaced your father from Cyrulair.
Okay. Thank you, Council, for letting us hold this meeting. As I was introduced, I am Time Avery Ashfall, daughter of Armoris Ashfall, and we are the Second Chances. We came together under the instruction to close these portals that have been popping up over, for right now, Wildmount.
Candaria, who's always had, like, never necessarily been close to her, but again, she was one of the council members of your Nor. So you're familiar with her, and she always seemed to have favor towards you. So upon mentioning that, she asks, and whose instruction exactly was it that you were given?
Some of you may have heard my sister Chandra, after her pilgrimage, she had been given assignment by something called the Oracle.
You can see there are some looks on about half of the council.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a called it type deal. Like maybe there had been rumors or people like, you know, one of them left blaspheming. I'm sure the other one probably did as well type deal. So some of them don't seem to be surprised by you bringing up the same entity that your sister claimed to have been visited by.
During my pilgrimage, I chose not to speak this out for what happened with my sister, and she'll show the tattoo. But I was called and went for the call and found these others. And we have all been working together. While this oracle has been the first the entity that called us all together. I am doing this also with the blessing of Sainin herself. And if you desire proof of that, I will show that to you now.
What do you show them?
I'll show them both the quiver and Luster.
Is Luster in baby form or big form?
I think he's turning into big form now.
Okay, so yeah, I think that you put the quiver down on
Yeah.
the table in front of them, and looking to you like for permission, like
Yeah.
they're going to take it, and you watch as like they kind of start to pass it around to some of them, and then as you call Luster and like turn towards him, he transforms up into sort of big Drake Luster, and like a few of them, like one of them kind of like kind of push their chairs back, and one of them kind of gets up like whoa for a moment.
He's trained.
And he puffs his chest out like he's like, don't you fucking like Roz might not be able to punch you in the nose, but I can.
But I'm an animal, and no one's gonna talk shit if I do it.
So they kind of take a look at Luster, and I think the Pale Reed is kind of like looking and is like, this, I believe there's little doubt that this is indeed a boon from the Moon Weaver herself. And as they're kind of passing it along, Burning Star goes, and we are also to believe that it's the 7 of you that closed that massive portal that was in the grove above the entrance here?
Correct.
And how did you accomplish that?
As we have been marked by the Oracle, we had been given ability to do so.
And so your job now is to just, your quest, your calling, is to walk the land looking for these portals?
Oh, it's so depressing when you say it that way.
Correct. We have reason to believe that if too many of these portals open, it will cause destruction to this world. And to others as well.
Yours very nearly became a permanent fixture.
Telia speaks up and goes, and how are you supposed to know where to go? What is there any sort of rhyme or reason to when and where these portals open? Is there no way to prevent them from doing so? How do we know that it's not going to open again?
So I have pretty good confidence that once an area's portal has opened, it is unlikely to open again. We were told to... She grimaces, knowing how this is going to sound. We were told to seek out areas of great change, as that causes some sort of instability.
Sindar, who you get like this sort of like tough but fair kind of vibe from him when you say that, says, and are we to believe then that great change in the grove was a mass exodus of the Moonborn generation?
Possibly. The timing is a little strange with it, but that is one theory.
Roz nudges you. The logging company.
We also wondered if perhaps the logging company and their actions may have been involved in some of this as well.
It's possible. We thought that early on that perhaps they were the ones behind the spreading of the sickness, but after seeing what that portal did to the grove, it's been commonly accepted that that was probably where the true responsibility lies. I have to ask, Maev, that it doesn't seem perhaps odd to you that your sister was given the same vision. She was ostracized by her peers and by her people and left. Nothing came of it. You then received the same vision, and being one of the Moonborn, when you left, people followed, and great change came as a result. I'm sure as you have... If you have attempted to explained this to other powers throughout the continent. They have probably given you similar... I'll be blunt. How do you know you're not being led astray?
Well, I suppose simply put, when we close these portals, then things are better. When there are open portals, I mean, every portal is a little different. This plague is unique here. Other places, there were monsters that came out. Other places were, trying to think of other examples, but had caused other sorts of havoc into the areas that they were in.
I've also never seen one get this big.
Yes, this one is probably the biggest we've had to close.
Pale
Was left
Reed
op-
speaks up again next and goes, the repercussions will be dealt with in what ways we can, but what I believe is more important is there are 7 of you. You say that the more portals you close, the bigger they get. Are you the only ones who are able to close them? Exandria is an entire world. 4 continents, the Shattered Teeth. Are there not other portals opening there that you should be closing or that you should be aware of? How do the 7 of you plan on saving the world if all you have to go off of is find great change and close these portals? What if the next one is too big?
Oh. We are trying to make contacts with people all over the world in order to help us know where to go next. We have some abilities to travel across those places. Otherwise, if there are more people like us, we have not found them yet, but that doesn't mean that we would not be told. I unfortunately know that, well, Chandra had decided to refuse the call, which I believe is why I was picked next.
Kelvin Crowbane, the other Rivaloam man, finally speaks up. And has your oracle given you reason for why the 7 of you were chosen?
No.
She said we were worthy. I didn't know for the longest time, I think, why I had to be chosen, especially second to my sister, but I'm not sure if it matters. We all have our strengths, and the weaknesses we have, we shore up by being together. And
he kind of rolls his eyes a bit at the, power and friendship message there.
Well, either way, I wish I had a clear answer for you on why us specifically. What I do know is that what we're doing is working.
You said this is the biggest portal you've yet to see.
Correct.
Which means that they're probably going to get only larger. Do you not think it would be better spent if you separated, found other powers, got the larger governments, the Empire in Rexentrim, the Taldore Council? If you were to spread out, you could perhaps close or find these portals more quickly.
Hey, man.
They...
Everyone we talk to about this looks at us like we're fucking insane.
Well, of course they do. Look at yourselves, your children, almost, as he kind of motions to Leo. We appreciate...
I don't know if me or Leo should be more offended.
We appreciate the feats you've accomplished thus far. But if rumors of a progenitor of the gods is truly the one behind these acts, how long until you buckle under the pressure of inexperience?
So what do you suggest then? Because I'll tell you what. If we did split up, we wouldn't be closing these portals. We can only do it as strong as we are together.
So you're given the ability to close them and then forced to work as one.
Yeah.
Still,
It takes at least 5 of us to close one.
Still gives me major doubts then to the true intentions of this oracle. If what they're saying is true, And all you need to do is close them. That placates you. That makes you think that you're doing a good job. You're doing the right job. And so you're not looking elsewhere. And we don't have the answers here. We're just trying to survive after what has happened.
Well, the next one that opens up in your grove, we'll just leave it there for you, and you'll go do something else.
Roz, please.
I doubt it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We know what we are responsible for. We know what's at stake here. And we are not resting until we can get these portals closed enough so that whatever danger we are being posed to passes. This is not the first time this has happened. Eons ago, another reign of champions had done the same thing. It's an unfortunate cycle, but it's one that's existed far longer than anyone here.
So there isn't a way to stop it, then just prolong it.
That's all we've been told. That being said, we were open to all the answers we can get on other options.
A few of them begin to kind of whisper to one another and kind of, exchange a few things here and there, and then Xandria speaks up again. So now that you've closed the portal, you're going to look to go elsewhere. Since you've closed others before, can you provide any sort of insight on what we should expect in regards to the state of the grove? Will the curse lift? Will the sickness pass?
Right now, the state of the grove is slowly returning. It's not quite in the state that it should be right now. Admittedly, this plague is a sort of different thing than we faced altogether. It seems like whatever was happening here had increased the power that the Crawling King had. So not only were there things from the portal, but some Crawling King influence as well.
There's more
Hermie, if
kind
there's
of whispers amongst them.
Hermie, if there's more that I'm missing, please add on.
Well, we kind of jump topics, so I don't know if I should backtrack and
I mean, you could also just you don't have to give specifics if you just want to say,
because I was gonna say that we understand that it's not ideal to just kind of just stabilize and not look to solve this greater issue, this cycle of the world basically collapsing in on themselves. That I and someone else with the Surface Assembly are researching the nature of the portals, and it seems to be some form of magic that has not yet been seen before. But we're close. We're on the right track for understanding how to, I guess, wield it against the enemy.
I think Pale Reed, as you mentioned this sort of older, or this unseen magic, kind of pipes up and goes, so you think that the deep old magics could be at play here?
I mean, well, it's correct me if I'm wrong, but essentially the portals, that gives off that same cosmic energy as our tattoos, right? Yeah.
It does. And when they say the idea of the deep old magics, that doesn't even necessarily really mean anything concrete. That's just a way that more ancient sort of pre-founding stuff is talked about, because obviously there's the divine, what druids do, what clerics do,
it's
even to an
it's
extent paladins. It's stuff that existed even before that, more of sort of primordial things, and it's more just this concept of the old magics. When people talk about unknown magics or ancient stuff, it's just sort of this catch-all idea of things that just existed before. But as you kind of bring that up and they mention that, Pale Reed does look to some of the others and say, if they can't help us further and have to leave, then we could potentially look into securing the help. And before he can even finish it, both Duskheart and Crowbane are like, no, we can deal with ourselves. We do not need to put ourselves in the debt of that witch.
Which?
Hermia speaks up and was like, speaking of which, we have some evidence to suggest that some sort of witch may have had, like, put her influence here. And it's possible that she made this curse on the land, I guess, spread faster than it would have otherwise.
Burning Star says, what proof do you have, and what witch is it that you speak of?
The Prism Rich, and I don't know, we found this, like, note. Maeve has it.
Yeah.
The logging company.
Pale Reed corrects you, the Prism Sage, and then both Crowbane and Duskheart, like, scold them for, like, don't even say her name. She is... It is... There are certain histories or retellings here in the Nor that have mixed and biased perceptions of what it is the Prism Sage does, and both of them look very, like, nonplussed to be getting this sort of talk. But you hand over the letter, and they kind of read it, and they pass it back and forth to one another. Kendaria says, it seems that perhaps the logging company may have had still some hand in this. I think this further warrants discussion and perhaps looking into it. It's one thing to go to her for help, but if she had a hand in painting our current predicament, then she may be able to help us get out of it, whether we are indebted to her or not. And there's...
Hermia will mention, like, her kind of working theory that the worlds, like, the barrier between worlds, like, being so thin because of the portal may have presented an opportunity for someone, like, who is as powerful as this sage to kind of help the uncrawling king extend his influence onto the prime material world or plane.
The two elders from Rivalome are very adamant and very against the idea of reaching out to or pursuing some sort of connection between the Pallid Elves, the Grove, and the Prism Sage, for fear that it could put all of the Pallid Elves at risk or in her debt in some way if she helps them, and that what she may ask for would be too steep. Pale Reed is of a mind that the Prism Sage isn't an inherently malevolent or evil being, and, like, a lot of stories about witches, hags, and such, that when you get involved, you make deals, and it's going back on those deals that normally reap the consequences that you hear of in the, the warnings and the cautionary tales. Pale Reed seems to think that it's worth it, and they get into, like, some extended arguments here to where their decision still seems to be up in the air. They have some stuff they kind of have to figure out. Eventually, though, I think Kendaria goes, there's obviously stuff that we as a council still need to come to terms on. I assume, though, that after your journey here, and no offense, but the state of you, that you're going to need some time to rest and recuperate.
That would be for the best.
All right. Very
if
well.
possible.
I don't believe that we have any more questions for you at this time, but we would like to speak with you perhaps one more time before you leave. So before you do, just have Colette reach out to us. And if we think of anything else that may be of pertinent or any other questions we may have, we will do the same.
Thank you, Council.
With that, you are all dismissed.
Wow, that's proud.
Well, that could have gone a lot worse.
I really don't think they should talk to this witch or sage or however you want to call her.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. She just sounds like the old hags from the Feywild. Interacting with them, like nothing good comes from it.
I know,
Oh,
but
if
does
she
that
is
mean...
a hag, we could eliminate the threat.
I want to ask her first what she did.
So you're saying we should do it ourselves?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. She had some play into this.
Well, we can certainly offer. Didn't you say she was kind of far away?
Robbie showed us on the map, but I forget where she
Yes.
I
was.
thought she was near like this lake or something.
Yes, the rumors in the note or the letter that you have is that she is in the Festerwill pool. I think that somebody had rolled a high enough history
Me,
that
because I have proficiency in history.
yeah, I think it was you, and I think that maybe even Leo might have known a little bit something as well. And between the two of you, you had heard that someone by the name of the Prison Sage was in the Bromkiln Hills, which is over south of the Zemni Fields and to the east of the Sirios Mountains. But the tales surrounding the Prism Sage aren't like normal hag tales. You know, she's not just like, they don't speak of her like she's just another hag. There are cautionary tales of her, but there are also like more fairy tales, like fairy godmother type stuff, to where people went to ask her for favors or for miracles and were granted these things.
When
And,
I was
like-
taught
like-
about hags is that they're not necessarily good or evil. They just are selfish and
Yes, if hags were just straight evil and all they did was like one of the things that I think everyone probably realizes to a certain extent is that if hags were just evil, like they just tricked everybody and nobody got a good deal out of it, nobody would make deals with them. So I think there's a certain element to some stories of hags that you've heard at one time or another that it's more of like a hubris thing, right? People who ask for too much, people who test their luck, people who reach too far or don't want to pay or break the deal, that's when you usually incur the wrath in some way.
Well, we can certainly see if they know where she is. They might have a better idea than we do, and I suppose...
And suppose we disguise you, then it wouldn't be like the Pallid Elves were asking and potentially being indebted to her. It'd be the second chances. I don't know if it makes your council of old people feel better or not.
we can certainly see. We can certainly ask. But let's take a thought about this. I should probably speak to Norrison's parents, and then I think we all need some much needed sleep.
Agreed.
All right.
But thank you all
Have to
for...
kill Norrison's parents.
No!
I mean, that's not
Problem
the
solved.
problem.
No! Y'all are crazy!
Been a day.
Because
I
we
told you
haven't
not to show
slept.
the crazy here!
It's because we haven't slept.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
All right, so as Maev and Hermia head to find Norrison's, and we'll say that when you left, your mother said she was going to head over there as well, so she would meet you there when you were done with the council.
Yep.
Xana looks to Leo and Zelith and goes, "This would be a little bit easier if we were in an actual city where there were things to do and I could lie, but we're not, so I can't. I need to talk to these two," and she points to Rosalind and Corey. "So could you two just, leave?"
Walk off somewhere.
Oh,
Walk away.
okay.
I'm sorry, you two. Sorry for my girlfriend.
Glad I'm not there. I'd be devastated.
Roz has a look on her face.
Yeah,
Roz has a
obviously.
look on her face like subtle.
Yeah.
Should I have been?
No.
Hermia's not here. You're fine.
With Hermia and Maeve, you should be, but yeah, no, not with them.
Well,
You're
no,
fine.
don't be subtle with Maeve. Just deal with the fact that it doesn't sound subtle.
She looks at the two of you. All right. You. She points at you, Roslyn. Do you
Me.
do you remember the discussion that we had after we left Air's recollection on the way to Port Zune about the three selves?
Yeah.
Okay. She needs to see your invisible self.
What?
And you need someone to talk to about what happened to you with those red caps that isn't just going to pat you on the back and tell you what you want to hear and make you feel better about it. You're mortal. We all are. We're not infallible. And after what she went through in that tunnel, she thinks she has to live up to being like me and you. That she has to be invincible too.
I think, and maybe when we're back topside, sure, but
No. We have time. We're doing this now. I am scared. I get afraid too, Corey. All right, being afraid is a good thing. It is how your body and your instincts and your experience keep you alive. And I've been making some dumb decisions about my survival recently because I don't want to see you idiots get hurt. And I know that Roz is the same way, that she thinks she has to be our shield. And you do a good job of it. But when you're not in battle, you set that shield down and you let it rest. And you polish it and you help get the dings out of it. You let other people do that. Right?
Yeah. Fuck. Look, I died,
Yeah, you did.
and, you know, it wasn't anything like stories. There's no final moment. There was no nothing. It was over before I even knew what had happened. And I don't know. In that brief second, it was like I had no more say in my ending than I would have if I had just rolled over and died in the orphanage. My story was over. And then there was nothing. No Saris, no light, no shadow, no Avandra. Nothing. Just emptiness. No more paths to walk, no more choices to make. And I'm fucking terrified. 'Cause I don't know what comes next for the first time in my life. And so I thought I should play it safer. I've got to be more careful. What if What if I die and Saris is just trapped in that void for eternity? And then a bullet's getting ready to explode, and the first thing I have is, oh, I better jump on it. And I realize I don't have any other way to be. I am who I am. And
you jumping.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. As dumb as as reckless as it was smart. The blast of those bullets would have reached all the way down that tunnel and hit everyone else. Instead, it was just me, you, Hermia, and Corey.
Yeah.
And Corey, you did good too. You saved me. I don't know if I would have chosen Thunderstep. You're Fae too. Maybe we can get you one of those Misty Step spells instead.
No, I'm not Misty Step. I can't take you with me. Look. Roz, I'm so sorry. I know I didn't check on you like I should have.
No,
because,
you don't.
well, Leo happened, and
I know.
I hate to say it, but I thought, well, Hermia's with you, and you're Roz, and you're good. And I realize that now. I realized it in the tunnel that shit's really hitting the fan, and
Yeah, it is.
I can't. I want to do this. I do. And Xana, when you said, oh, I could go if I wanted to, I don't. And that's the problem. This is it. And I need to grow up about it. But if I'm worried about this, if I'm worried about me and worried about you guys, I can't be worried about my parents and meeting them. And I can't be worried about Faye. And
Why?
don't say that I can do both. No. Because
Faye is fine. She's in Allfield. That is as far out of harm's way and as far away from great change as you can get. Allfield has been the same since it was established 300 years ago.
We literally just talked about the world potentially ending to all of this, right? And how many other things have we thought, oh, that'll be fine, and then something happens? That's what I'm saying. I need to do better, and I will do better. That's not what I'm questioning. It's already not fair to her that she has to worry if we don't talk for a week, or if I were to just die here, she wouldn't know, and that's not fair to her. It's not fair to me, and I can't.
There's a
worry.
realization on Xana's face as she kind of finally clues into what it is that you're saying, and she has this moment, and she goes, look, I'm not the best to tell you what decision you should make, but if you think that you can do anything to stop yourself from worrying like you already are, you can't.
Yeah.
You don't have a whole lot to look forward to right now, Corey. So whether you get to talk to her every day or you get to talk to her once a week or once a month, that should be your light that you reach for in times like this.
No, and she is, but
No buts.
no, there are, because I need to focus, and I'm not. And look, that's why I didn't want to talk about it. We have so much going on, And I really appreciate it. I do. And we can talk about it more. But we're here for Maeve. We're here for the portals. And that's what matters. Because I honestly went into that fight. Yeah, I was scared. But I was like, hey, we've done this before. And then 2 of us almost died. I'm not saying that, oh, I should have been better or whatever. But if maybe if my whole life, if I had spent a little more effort and concentration, who knows how much better things might be. And I won't know until I try that. So,
That's not real, though, Corey. You can't think, how much better might I have been? You don't get to go back and change that. You are who you are. And like, look, you're one to second guess that last fight. I'm right there with you. I'm supposed to be the shield. I'm supposed to be able to get hit. And I didn't live up to my end of the bargain. And now Zealous is so guilty that I think if I showed a tear to him, he might actually explode. So I'm trying my best to not let any of this mess show.
no. And that's not fair to you.
I get that. But what I'm trying to say is, you can't second guess this. We're doing our best. You're right. 2 of us almost died. I don't know how we got Leo back. Hermia is trying to explain to me new schools of magic, and I can't even remember the ones that exist already. I wasn't very good in those classes. May not surprise you to learn. But it's like they were just making fun of us in there, saying we're a bunch of children trying to do this. And in a lot of ways, as much as it hurts, it's true. We are a bunch of children trying to do this. And we don't know what we're doing half the time. And it's frustrating. And it's hard. But you know what? We're still here. And we've closed, what? I think that last one counts for 3. We've closed like 10 portals now. Like, sure, they can sit in there and laugh at us and second guess us. They haven't done a damn thing except run back underground like rats. That's what their solution is. So yeah, it's hard. It's going to get harder, probably. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Maybe this is the peak, but I doubt it.
Look, when you have moments like that, Corey, you should be looking back at what you can do better next time, but you can't change what's already happened. Don't get caught up worrying about your regrets. Just identify what you can do better next time and learn.
That's what I'm trying to say, and that's what I'm realizing now.
And do you think having faith... She's right, though. Start talking to more people. If I can do it, you can do it.
True, that's a fact.
All right, fine. Okay, you made your point.
All right, good talk.
I'll try. Was it a good talk? It doesn't feel like it was a good talk.
It doesn't, but it was a good talk.
Okay, great. And also, Corey, one last thing on that. The real ugly, the bitch of it, is that you don't get to decide whether or not Faye worries about you. She chooses who she puts her faith and her heart in. That's her call to make, if it's fair or not for her to have to worry about you. Not yours. And believe me, as someone who has a lot of people back home, I know that sucks, but you really just can't. That's not your call.
And since she's walking away, that was in her head, and Corey realizes that, man, you can't just walk away from people in this fucking party.
No, you really can't. It's hard.
All right, and with that out of the way, I don't know if we're gonna call it solved, but progress was made in one direction or another.
It's out there.
It's out there.
Hanging out there.
Oh boy.
we'll go ahead and
Big old matzo ball.
we'll go ahead
As Zealous and and Lyra are walking away, Zealous begins the conversation by saying, "I think I'm turning into a champion of the Crawling King."